Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome to another episode of Viva Cafe con Leche. Good morning. My name is Dr. Lori Monaco with Align Yourself, Inc. I am a life coach in transformation, mindfulness practice. I am a speaker. I am a chiropractor, holistic practitioner, and I am also known as the Badass Buddha. And I am hailing from Southern Connecticut, coming to you this morning.
Good morning, buenos días, mi gente, namaste. Aquí con la Margarita here on Viva Cafe con Leche. I am your spiritual and creative healing life coach who's here is a little poopy today.
Poofy's okay.
Poopy.
Fabulous.
Artist, writer, storyteller, because I'm a talker. I am your gladiator guru coming to you from Sunshine, Florida.
Good morning, gladiator guru. How are you this morning?
I am great. It's a beautiful morning.
I am great. Morning.
I am great. And you?
I'm well. I'm really well. We both, I'm looking at us both. Come on, people, you got to say it. We look fucking fabulous this morning. Like, we both decided to wear red, and then the reason we got out late was because Guru showed up with her red on, and I decided last minute to change my shirt, and she goes, I said, is this okay? Because I know I said red, but I changed it something. She goes, that's fine, but you're the one who said red. And I'm like, damn. But I think we both look like fabulous because of our topic of conversation today. We wanted to look fabulous for our love topic today. So how was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? I heard
yes,
busy.
I did.
You were busy with your ladies.
Busy, planning for Ajusta tu Corona. That will be happening on November 8th. We're going viral. So we did a lot of planning. It was fun. It was a mimosa-filled weekend.
And they still got work done.
And we still got work done. I think we got the whole itinerary of how everything's going to be.
Fantastic.
So it was fun. It was a lot of laughter, yelling at each other, comforting.
That's what friends are for.
And getting work done.
And getting work done and a lot of coffee. You made coffee for everybody, right?
Yes, I did. But not too much this weekend because we had mimosas.
Ah, yes. Okay. So mimosas trump coffee. So we were talking about this yesterday too, during our planning meeting, that one of these mornings that we're going to get up and we're just going to have drinks and we're going to have you start your day that way. So we'll probably pick a Thursday maybe. So it's towards the end of the week, but we're, hoping that, you join us. You could do a mimosa or whatever, but we'll let you know the day. We are supposed to air, we were doing our planning ahead, and we are set to air on what is Thanksgiving morning, Christmas Eve morning. So maybe that's one of the days we'll do it. Just drink all day on Thanksgiving.
And what you say Thanksgiving morning, Christmas morning, and Christmas Eve, I think it is, right?
Christmas Eve morning, yep.
And it seems so far away, but we're like, what, a week and a half shy of October?
I know, isn't that crazy? Today's the first day of fall. First day of autumn equinox.
And it's cool here. It's like cool.
It's cool here. It was a frost warning last night. Crazy. 41 degrees this morning when I woke up.
Wow. Good morning, Nancy Harding.
Yep. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle says, good morning, ladies. Beautiful souls. And then she put ladies in red with a heart. Lillian's on. Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Lillian.
And great morning, ladies. So fabulous. Great. Good morning, everybody. So, yeah, so your planning went well. So you guys got a lot done and you're all set. You picked the date, right? Did you pick the date for that?
Well, it's I don't even know if I was supposed to say it, but
Oh, okay, then go. It's all right.
it's coming
okay.
soon. It's coming soon. We just want to put some stuff out. So we're excited. You know, the whole theme. It's a lot of work, but I think it's fun work when you do something with love and passion and knowing and that we're still going to sponsor an organization. So all that's going to be awesome. You know, we're proud of it. We're proud of it. It's coming
Fantastic.
along.
Yes, and with all this shifting, you know, it's nice to see that a lot of businesses and organizations and workshops are coming back, even though they're virtual. At least they're here. You know, I had a lot of stuff cancel over in the spring and throughout the summer, but a lot of them are reaching back out saying, hey, you know, we want to put this together. We want to put this together. Even planning for next year. So some of it's not just fall stuff. Some of them are just reaching out saying, we're going to plan for the spring and we're going to do it 2 ways of planning. We're going to do virtual. We're going to create the virtual just in case, but then we're also going to, you know, possibly do it in person if that works out this way. But at least it keeps going. It keeps happening. I keep seeing all these fantastic workshops popping up. So people, that's the best way to really grow and step into your authentic self, is to be a part of these workshops so that you can hear these inspirational stories and you know, share your story and just connect with like-minded people. So you just constantly one up yourself.
You know, I think that people, even workshops with Eventbrite.
Lillian put November 8th. Lillian put the date, November 8th.
There's a lot of time. We invest a lot of time. So even the workshops that we're interested in that have a price on it, the price is so minimal compared to if you're just going to go out and order fast food instead of just putting, you know, some chicken in the oven or something quickly. This is feeding your spirit, your soul. This is, you know, encouraging your mind to expand and your thought process to just be a beam of light pointing towards your future. You know, this is you waking up your future self.
Yes.
By feeding it information, you know, introducing it to compassion and empathy all over again, because we've lived in fear for a couple months and the isolation and the quarantine. And I think when these workshops pop up, it's encouraging your future self that it's okay. Let's start dreaming again. And it's feeding that your spirit, everything except fear. You know,
so it's priceless. Really, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's joining a collective of empowered women that have a lot to say and share. And these virtual hugs, they still mean as much as a regular hug, because you're feeling it. You're feeling it through sound, through words. So I think that, you know, any workshops that you see that pique your interest, that you get excited for in a minute, go for it. Feed your soul as you're valuing the person putting this together and putting it out there for you. Across the board. So, ajusta tu corona. We're coming, baby. Ole!
All right, fantastic. So let's talk about some coffee today. Today's Tuesday. So what are you drinking? What do you show us your mug? That kind of deal.
Yes, you know, mi gente, I'm not seeing mugs coming in. It's a minute. Just snapshot it, please. We have Maria de Pilar from Peru in the house, actually from Peru.
Morning.
My sister Janet. Hey, good morning. She says, good morning, beautiful ladies. Love
good morning, sis. Janet.
So, yeah, so I just think I think we need to start. Christmas is coming. People are getting hectic. You know, Thanksgiving is not going to be the same this year. You know, there's a lot of steps, you know, going forward that it's already starting to fill with nostalgia, melancholy. You know, you're going to be depressed. So let's work together. Even let's make a virtual empowerment movement to be there for one another, so that when these holidays approach and the depression starts to set in, and the sadness and the loneliness, because it's going to happen. You know, especially Thanksgiving. How many people don't want togetherness at Thanksgiving. I know it's a big thing in our house. You know why? Because my birthday is always celebrated on Thanksgiving Day, you know? So, I mean, so let's empower. I think the empowerment, the believing in one another, the growing in one another with your delicious taza de café. And whenever we're sad, let's start one of those things that, you know, let's always have a Zoom ready. Let's always have time allotted to accept video from somebody, because right now that's mostly what we have that's safe and you know, it crosses our borders, right? No matter where you're at, we can Zoom at whatever hour and be together and talk to each other and calm each other down and motivate one another. And we could always do it with the taza de café. So send me your selfie. Send me your selfie.
That whole run around just to get you to send the picture.
Yeah, that whole run around to let you know that we are here. That
Yes.
Viva Cafe con Leche is here.
Kidding.
The holidays are coming. It's going to be.
And we're on Thanksgiving morning, which is fantastic. So for those of you that are actually having the party, I mean, this is way ahead in advance, and you've got to get your butt up early and start cooking, you know, just put us on and listen while you're doing your cooking. I mean, then you're like doing both, right?
You know, do us as you're doing your turkey. We down for it. Okay, I just want to do some shout outs before we start. I am drinking La Llave. That seems to be my favorite right now. So yeah, La Llave is my choice for today in my just plain mug. It's just because I wanted the red to speak volumes. So it's a couple shots. Oh, Carmen Nieves, my beautiful queen. I've been sending you texts. I don't know if you still got that number. So my sister, Carmen Nieves, my brother, Mickey.
Ray Sean is on. Good morning, Ray Sean. Glad you're here. I want to do a little shout out because I bought new coffee finally ordered my coffee.
Yes.
And so I have my love mug. I got my Beehive love mug, which is perfect for this morning. And so check this out. I had to show the packaging because it's too freaking cute. So they're out of Florida, right? So this is the New England girl ordering from Florida, but I got to say, I really like their coffee. So how cute is this packaging? So it's Bones Coffee Company, right?
I love it.
This is their regular coffee, which I had that. It's a medium roast. It's actually really good. And then you know me with my flavored coffee, right? So I bought, this one is a maple bacon coffee, but look at how cute their stuff is. The packaging is too cute, right? And then this one is electric unicorn fruity cereal, and this is actually my favorite. It tastes like I'm drinking a cup of coffee with fruity pebbles, you know, like the cereal Fruity Pebbles. And
it's strong. The fruity taste is strong.
For that one, it is. The maple
awesome.
Wasn't as strong as the fruity one. But what I love about it is that because I had been putting a little bit of stuff into my coffee, I'm going back to the black, you know, and the monk fruit. And this coffee tastes really good with just the monk fruit, which really speaks a lot, because when you have to start adding more stuff just to get a better flavor. So that's why I gotta give it to them. It's good coffee. I definitely recommend it if you are. And I like the packaging too. It seals really nicely. You would think I'm getting an endorsement on this way I'm talking about.
No, because that's very important.
I'm not. But seriously, like, it seals nicely, and so it stays fresher longer. But the coffee's good. So if you get a chance, order Bones Coffee. I don't know if they sell it in stores. I didn't bother to look. I just order online. But
probably because they have a Buddy Brew here that my daughter had bought me several bags like that. It's Buddy's Brew. They named their company after their dog Buddy, and they're right here in downtown Tampa. And it's awesome. That coffee's delicious. And they also have different flavors, and they sell them at Publix. So
they sell them locally. Yeah. So maybe they do down there. This is Coral Gables. They're in Cape Coral, not Coral Gables, Cape Coral, Florida. So maybe they are locally, like in stores down in Florida. I've never seen them here. but it doesn't matter. I mean, I order stuff online and it came pretty quickly. So yeah, so there's my coffee. So I'll be drinking this for a while. It'll take me a while to go through these bags, but anyway, so yes.
Wait, Jonathan Pookie says, guess I'm wearing red today too. LOL. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Jonathan.
So we have my brother Mickey and we have Jonathan. We have 2 men on so far. I'm waiting to see if our Janice comes up because today's topic is love, 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 the 5 love languages. And we all can relate to that because let me tell you, I've met men who were so romantical and their women were cold. And you know, they say opposites attract, and I'm sure that does happen, but then you see men that are they don't know how to express their feelings. And then you have women like me that were overwhelming. Like, I don't know where to put you. Like, I want to brush your hair and wipe your ass at the same time, like, because you're that, you know, I love you that much. So, I mean, this whole thing. So welcome, Jonathan. Welcome, Mickey. And love is a beautiful thing. It really is. And love doesn't need much.
So let's do our intention and do our mantra before we get started, and then we're going to talk about the 5 love languages. Does that sound good?
After you cut me off, yeah, that sounds wonderful.
I had to steer us back on track. I didn't want us to go back and go to the subject before we set our intention and our mantra for today.
Go ahead.
Okay. So intention for today. Love is my birthright. I am a manifestation of this love. I am loving and loved by many. So it's love is my birthright. I am a manifestation of this love. I am loving and loved by many.
I like that. The mantra, I like that. I am love and I am loved by many. Okay. The mantra is, I am thankful for all I have and all I will accomplish. Mantra, I am thankful for all I have and all I will accomplish. I like that one. They go hand in hand.
I do too. All right, my beautiful soul spirit here with the lovely red on. She really does look hot today, though, I've got to say.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I really want for people on Lori's page and on my watch party let's have a conversation about the 5 love language. If you have questions or if you want to share your insight on it, let's keep the conversation going because this is very important. Lori, why is learning the 5 love languages important to yourself and why is it important for you to know in your relationship?
Well, I mean, it's funny because when you had said to do this, like you put this as a topic, I had never read that book, so I didn't read Gary Chapman's book. But then I started to research it, and it's nothing, you know, I mean, he just takes it and puts it into a certain perspective, you know, like groups it so we can follow it. But it's because he's talking about loving, the love languages are things that you can strive for, but it's just for yourself, but for other people. So it's like, it starts with your self-love, and then it goes into loving somebody else. And we need to be reminded about this. And because, you know, we're always looking elsewhere. Like we want to be loved. So we're always looking to get the love from somebody else, not realizing that we need to self-love first and then put that out there. So even when you follow these guidelines, which we're going to go over today, these the love languages and then like examples of them, you keep in mind that if it's said as if you're speaking to another person or working with another person, but to really make this work well, you have to really get to know yourself. You have to be self-aware and empower yourself to be able to do this accurately, right? I mean, was that what you were looking for? Did I answer your question correctly?
Yeah, it's important. It's just like self-love. This is what it's all about. So you're absolutely right. You have to really understand, accept, and acknowledge yourself and the love you have for yourself so that you can really figure out which one you are. You can be more than one. it's only a list of 5, and you can be all of them in small ways. You can have a predominant one and then a second choice. But I think it's as important for you to learn what's your love language and to want to learn your partner's love language, because what's the biggest misconception in a relationship is that if they don't love you the way you like to love, then they don't love you, and that causes chaos in your relationship.
Yes,
Causes separation. Mm-hmm.
And that's a good point, because we have an assumption, especially women, that if they can't figure us out what we like and how to love us, then they don't love us and they're bad. But sometimes you actually have to show people how to love you. Like, you have to show them what it is that works for you. Like, if you are romantic, you need to let them know that you're romantic. Don't do it by showering them with romance and then waiting for it to come back to you, especially if they're not capable of that. But you say it. Say, hey, listen, let me give you a hint. This is what I like, you know? And I think this really helps. I think because you get to know yourself going through these 5 love languages. And then you can also decide how you want to offer it to other people. Right?
Yes.
So you let me know when you want to start, if you want to read them.
No, you can. I just want to go over, like, because what you said is important. And I think the concept of the 5 love languages was so that, you know, the couple can understand each other. So if you know how you are, then, and you learn how they are, then guess what? Then there's like a seamless boundary there that you are accepting of one another in that way. So somebody says, you're so loving and your husband looks cold. Oh no, he's not, because you know his love language, right? So nothing's going to affect you that way. And I've met people that the biggest thing is that we impose our love language on the people we love. Well, you know, I like quality time, and you're always doing that, and then they're doing something else, and that's how they're showing their love, and they're like, I can't please you. I try to do everything to please you. So you know what? It gets lost in translation is what I'm saying. So Lori,
I like all of them. I like all of them, and I like giving all of them. I resonate with all 5.
Yes, but you know, there's a quiz as well that you can actually go on if you're,
I saw that. Yeah.
After the show. If you want to learn a bit more, take the quiz, because then you'll be like, oh shit, that's really how I am. Because you know what? Every day we should learn something about ourselves. Jonathan says, keep an open mind and pay attention. He or she isn't just your partner. They are your homie. I bet you know everything about your bestie. Treat your partner the same.
Yes, I agree. It can't be one-sided ever.
No. And I just want to give a shout out to my Aunt Gladys. Bendición, Titi. And Piritza's on. Hello, Iritza. Hello, Alan. Thank you, Pookie. That's
Nan is on too.
Nan.
Great point. So good morning, Nan.
Wait, I just want to say a funny. So yesterday, Lori and I are prepping for today, right? And we're talking about this. And I said, I think I have that book. I have several books on Gary Chapman,
From him, yes.
And I own some books by Joyce Chapman. And Lori says,
and I own books by Margarita Chapman.
And she caught me off guard. I thought that was so funny.
Paused. She like went, like she was just listening to me like, I'm just naming a book, you know, from a writer. And I paused, and then she got it.
Yeah, that was funny. Just wanted to do a funny, but go ahead. Start it off, because this is very interesting.
So I'm going to say the 5. I'm going to list them, and then we'll start with the first one. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. So let's start with words of affirmation. So we have about a half an hour to break all 5 of these down.
You know what's funny?
Yes. What's funny?
That I don't know how we numbered them differently. Like mine starts out with words of affirmation.
Yeah.
But then it goes to acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch.
I don't know if there's a specific, I picked this up off the internet. It was probably somebody who put it into.
No, I think that we write them down as we feel them.
Well, I didn't write this one down. I just printed it.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's like,
All right.
here, I'll show you. It's somebody wrote it up. I got it off. See, it was like already put together.
Oh.
I made it cheat. I cheated on my cheat sheet. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Whatever order you want to go into is fine.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I love it. Either way,
So,
they're all important.
So words of affirmation. So this is, I'm going to read what it says here, and then we'll sort of go into that. So it says how to communicate. Encourage, affirm, appreciate, empathize, listen actively. Actions to take: send an unexpected note, text, or card. Encourage genuinely and often. And then things to avoid: non-constructive criticism, not recognizing or appreciating effort. So let's talk about this. What do you want to start with? Maybe talk about like your words of affirmation. What have you done in the past? Like what have you done for your significant other, you know, family members, friends, to show this element of it? And
Well, like like,
is this one of yours?
yeah, words of course, words. I would put notes either in Eric's pocket, or I would put notes in his lunch bag. You know, I for his birthdays I would buy like a whole bunch of balloons, and on each one I would tie a note at the end of it, so I would let them all up. So he had to individually, you know, so we did all that not knowing that he was going to become paralyzed in less than a year, you know. So I'm happy that I am such a storyteller, and you know, because those things are something he always remembered. You know, I never bought him balloons and did that again because I didn't want him, even though he loved it, he was unable. And it's just not the same for me to pull the paper out and read it. So yeah, those are things I would do with my words of affirmation. And then I would either, like, you know, send him a text. I love sending good morning texts with little notes or words of the day. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Do they have to be, they don't have to be like in a text, right? Like not text message. I mean, text, like written. Words of affirmation can include you saying things too, right? Just telling somebody how much you appreciate them too, correct?
Yes, and just how,
No, I
where
just
they
want to
are.
make sure.
Yeah, words, and being a wordsmith, to me, being a storyteller is through little messages on text, sending an email, writing a note, hiding it in their pocket, letting them find it later on, or just speaking to them, because I like to speak. So it's just, you know, being a wordsmith, I think that's my top one. Words of affirmation is my number one.
And we all need to hear this. It's really nice to hear compliments. It's really, you know, it's not that you're looking for, oh, you look absolutely hot today, or you look fantastic. It's just a simple thank you. It's just being grateful. And sometimes when you're in a relationship with somebody for a really long time, it's sometimes hard to find the gratitude, because you're like, you focus so much on the shit that's wrong, the stuff that you're not happy with in the relationship. But unless you're like dead set against continue the relationship and you're like, I got to get out of here, I'm done. But if you feel like, no, I want to make this work and I'm here, then you've got to step back a little bit and say, think about what you're grateful for about that person, and then find the words and the gestures to go along with it. So if you want to write a note, that's fine. Surprise them. If you don't ever do that, put a little note in their car and hang it like with a Post-it on their steering wheel. So when they get in the car to go to work, it's sitting there, you know, or just say, thank you. I appreciate you doing the laundry, or, you know, taking out, you know, unloading the dishwasher or whatever, setting the table. And even if it's not received well, because I've seen that happen. I get that. I've learned over the years to be very grateful to people and make sure that I say thank you and how much I appreciate them. And I've had people come back at me and go, you know, like they're uncomfortable with it sometimes, not in a mean way. They're just like, well, I had to do that anyway. It's like, okay, but it's still nice to hear thank you. You know, isn't it, right? It's nice to hear, well, you don't have to say that. You're right, I don't have to, but I want to.
Yes, absolutely. And just, you know, there's a quote that says, if you feel your day being grateful for what you have and those who are around you, you don't have time for the negativity to fill your thoughts, you know? And I think, yeah, it's just being grateful. And when you say thank you to someone, it's not for you to expect that you're welcome back. You're saying thank you because you're grateful.
Yeah.
See, like when I hold doors open for people and they walk in, and I've been with people that I'm like, they didn't even say thank you. You should have closed the door. Why? They didn't ask me to hold it open.
Yeah.
I chose to.
Yes.
And it's not to hear them say thank you. And I think that's the best words of affirmation is when you say hello to somebody. When I'm walking, I say hi to everybody. Half of them ignore me because they're like, who's this crazy woman? And people who would welcome me to say, why do you say hi to people? Don't that get you mad that they don't answer? I'm like, no, I just like surprise them. Like they're in the car. I'm like, good morning. I do it for me. You know why? Because I'm grateful that I'm able to be out there walking.
And speaking.
And I see people.
And you have a mind.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, you know, there's people walking too and they're engaged or they're by themselves. And so what? It doesn't cost me a thing to say good morning to somebody and not get anything back. Yes. Because I'm a giver. So it never bothers. So when people say, don't it bother you? It bothers me that they would ask me that. Believe it or not. More so than the person not responding because I didn't expect nothing from them. I was just saying words of affirmation. And who doesn't want to hear good morning? Early in the morning as you're walking.
Good morning. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like who doesn't want to hear any of that stuff? And there are people out there that do have a rough time with gratitude. Like if you are saying thank you to them and they grumble it off, don't get pissed off about that. Again, this is for you to share with them, and at some point they'll appreciate that, you know, because you don't follow it with, well, God, you can just like. If you say good morning to somebody, they don't go, oh, what's the matter? You can't say good morning to me? I can't stand when people do that.
I don't like that. Oh,
what's the matter? You can't say you're welcome?
Yeah, yeah. And I think if you're going to give...
defeats the purpose.
If you're going to say good morning, if you're going to say hello, if you're going to compliment somebody, just give it. Keep walking, because if you're only doing it to keep score, you're not giving it, right?
Yep.
It's because you want to return. But go ahead. Good morning, Argenis. He says, good morning, beautiful
lady. Yay, Argenis is on. So we have another man.
We were waiting for you. Now we got my brother Mickey, Pookie, and Henny. Go ahead.
All right. So is that good? Do you want to move on to the next?
Yeah, if anybody has questions on words of affirmation, write it down. Send us your question, words of affirmation.
All right. Then the next one that I have on my list is physical touch. How to communicate nonverbal, use body language and touch to emphasize love, actions to take, hug, kiss, hold hands, show physical affection regularly, make intimacy a thoughtful priority, excuse me, things to avoid, physical neglect, long stints without intimacy, receiving affection coldly. All right, what about that one for you? I'm a big physical touch person.
You know, I love hugs. I love my 20-second hugs because those are healing hugs. I still give them. My daughter doesn't like to hug. My niece doesn't like to hug. So me and my nephew hug all the time. Mateo, we go hug the tree outside. Now, I love that, but I'm also not a touchy-feely person. Like, I don't want you touching me all the time. You know? So I think it's a 50-50. This one right here, physical touch, it's okay, but I don't need it. I only want it when I want it, when I need, like those hugs. I love hugs, but no, I don't really need for you to hold my hand, for you to cuddle with me in the bed. Like, I need to breathe. Like, no, I don't, no, that's not one of my big ones. That's like a number 4 for me.
I'm definitely a physical person. I love hugs. I love holding hands. I love massaging people. I love being massaged. I love sitting close to people, whether it's my kids or, you know, friends, family, whatever. I like my space too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not a bed cuddler. Like I need, hey, you know, that's enough. But I do like the physical contact, and I need it. Like, there's no question. Like, there's absolutely no question. It would really be bothersome to me to either be neglected physically or, like it says here, receive it coldly. Like, when you hug somebody and you can tell they're so not into the hug, and you're giving them a hug. And, you know, I mean, I read people. I'm not going to give hugs to people that don't want them, but I'm talking about people that you love. Like that'll be that way with my 16-year-old. You know, there'll be a moment where I go to hug her and she's not that receptive to it, you know, for that moment. And she sort of like stiffens up and I'm like, seriously, you know, but then she'll want one at another time and with the expectation of, I've got to be like right in. So I'm like, it's got to go both ways, dude. You know, like if you're going to want me to drop everything and hug you, then, you know, but we all have our moods. So, but I joke about that. I'm like, really? You know, like I'll move her around a little bit and shake her and really that's it. And then she'll laugh. But if she's in a mood, I honor that. I get what I need to get and then I get going, you know, it doesn't bother me too much.
Like I said, like I can take it, but I don't need it. I think, being a survivor and then taking care of Eric for all our marriage, he was paralyzed. And then you realize, I realized a lot about myself during that time as well. So no, I love to be hugged. Don't get me wrong. I love to be hugged, heart to heart. But it's not something I need. No, that's not high on my list. And it's okay. Henny went back and said, the issue is when you say good morning to someone and they don't say it back, there's an underlying issue of that person thinking they are better than you. Iris says her daughter doesn't like to be hugged either. She might be my daughter because she likes to smooch. I think... Yeah, so you just say hello back to the next person. Yeah, that's what you do. Not everybody's going to be receiving of that. But yeah, so you like to be touched. I think a lot of people need touch. It's human nature.
No, it's a given. And in fact, when people say they don't like to be touched, it can cause, on a scientific level, it can actually cause psychological problems.
To who?
So, because not psychological, like you're going to go crazy and you're going to like lose it. I'm talking when you touch, the actual physical touch releases
Yes.
a nerve chemical, a bonding chemical, and it's oxytocin. I almost forgot for a second. And it's a hormone, and you get a big boost of it when you touch somebody. So we do need it. So a lot of people who don't have the physical touch with a significant other, or they don't like to touch people, oftentimes will have a pet though. So just touching the pet also gives them that physical contact.
No, I love touch. And I'll count 20 seconds when I'm hugging somebody. But I don't need it. Like I'll hug and when, you know, I kiss everybody when I see them, but I don't need the constant reassurance of having my hand held or being spooning with somebody or just a constant, like, you know, I don't need it. No. And I'm aware that I don't need that. Henny says he needs touch. He said, hug me, bitch.
I'm right there with you, Henny. Okay, well, let me put it to you in a different way. You do touch somebody, though, on a daily basis, and it's your mom because you're a caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we look at the act of physical touch, it doesn't always have to be on an intimate, like loving way. I'm not saying in a bad way. We're not talking about bad touch. I'm just saying that whether it's considered like romantic or connecting with your children or just helping somebody. So when you grab onto her hands and you help her up, even if you're frustrated with helping her up, if she's not listening and moving properly because she's just not paying attention to you, it's still touch. So that's how you have to look at every moment that you touch will cause a shift chemically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not totally against it. I don't need it. Like, I don't need it every day, too. To me, that's like a need that if I stick to it, when I don't have it, I'm going to feel like something's missing.
Right.
And because I come from a family in a city that survival skills was our first thing, we can't really depend on stuff.
Right.
You know? So I learned that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I touch my mom every day. I have to hug her every day. I kiss her goodnight, you know, because you just never know. And so, yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me of that touch. Go ahead. What's the next one?
And Michelle says, thank God for my dogs. Yes. And speaking of, my dog is whining because she wants to go out.
Well, because when you're not feeling good, your dog will be at your feet or trying to sit next to you, and they're there for you. I mean, those are like the best gifts.
Yeah, because
they know you.
Judgmental.
And they know you're going through something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah. All right, the next one.
Receiving gifts. So this one says how to communicate thoughtfulness, make your spouse or your significant other a priority, speak purposefully, actions to take, give thoughtful gifts and gestures, small things matter in a big way, express gratitude when receiving a gift. That is the big one. I'm glad they mentioned that. Things to avoid, forgetting special occasions, unenthusiastic gift receiving. And I'm going to let you talk on this while I let my whiny dog out.
Which one are we on?
We're on receiving gifts.
Oh, receiving gifts. Yeah. Okay.
So
Receiving gifts. Even though you don't like receiving gifts or you feel uncomfortable with it, you got to understand that that's that person's love language. The way yours might be physical touch, where every time you run into somebody, you want that hug from them. Like, again, could be a lover, or it could just be a really close friend or family member. But the same way that if you're that physical touch person, they are the gift giving person. So you have to accept it. That's their love language. I knew somebody that was constantly buying me things, and I was like, stop buying me things, because I didn't like it. He didn't listen, and I got like the beautiful pens out of it. You know, I got notebooks and journals. I mean, they were gifts that were very well thought out. So right now I'm appreciating them because I'm using most of everything. It came into purpose. But that's why I ask you to go and read the 5 love languages, because then you can identify the person that you're dealing with. And in doing so, you will respect what they're doing and not think there's a hidden agenda. Because the 5 love languages, words of affirmation, oh, this person thinks they're gonna get me by telling sweet nothings to me. You know, the acts of service, oh, so he wants to come and fix my tire, right? I'm just putting it out there what people can do. Oh, they're giving me gifts, what they think I'm gonna give them something because they bought me something. You know, so we're always gonna probably have that thought sneak in first if you're unaware. So become aware, because let me tell you, I have some phenomenal friends. I have very hand-picked male friends that are just platonic friends, and I love them and I would do anything for them. And then you have you know, that are there, they just pop up like slut magic and be like, hey, you need this, I got you. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, I was trying to figure it out, I got you. So you got to appreciate that. So if you are familiar with the 5 love language and how people are with them, then you can become more accepting. How's that? Accepting and more trusting towards the person who's offering their love language to you, whether in a platonic relationship, an amorous relationship, or just family you haven't seen in a while. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lori.
I missed part of what you said in the beginning, but that sounded fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that we have to learn how to respect what someone else is offering without judgment. And our first thing, especially during this pandemic, I think the mistrust issues have gotten worse, even with friends and family, because they cough, whatever the case may be. But I think if you educate yourself, if you take out 15 minutes of your day when the show is done and go and look up the 5 love languages and take the quiz to know who the hell you are, then you'll understand the person's coming towards you and their love language. And like I said, Lori said, it doesn't have to be a sex relationship or building up to one. It can just be a platonic friend that you love, because love is love is love, correct?
That's right.
And
yeah.
Sometimes love is better when there's some sex in it. But when you don't have it and you do have those platonic friends, and you gotta accept them for who they are, and the judgments have to start peeling away from you, right? So what's the next one, Lori? Well, receiving gifts. Again, if that's your love language, and I think we all have that, because every time somebody comes over here, they leave with something. There's always something I had that I like, you save it, and then the person comes over, you're like, oh, that'll be perfect for them. So I'm a gift giver. But it's hard for me to accept gifts.
Well, and that's something that you would have to work on yourself, depending on what the gift is. But it's also about the thoughtfulness of the gift. That's the thing that you were mentioning before, knowing yourself, and then knowing, like, if you have an awareness of yourself, but also an awareness of others. So like, for instance, let's say, so you had a flat tire, because you did have the flat tire, and rather than a friend saying, hey, listen, why don't we meet for coffee and I'll take you out for coffee, if the person turned around and said, hey, listen, you know what, I know you have a flat tire, I'm going to come by and fix your tire. That is a more thoughtful gift, because it's something that you needed. And then you could turn around and say, and once you fix that tire, I'm going to take you out to coffee. Because, or what is it that you need from, what can I do for you? And they may say, oh, I don't need anything right now. But then you think down the line that you give back to that individual.
Yeah, I make him coffee all the time.
It's more thoughtful. Like I love the thoughtfulness of gifts, when you really think things through. But also, one thing you got to be really careful about, I know we're running out of time because we still have 2 more to go, but be careful about being that person that is so thoughtful that I researched this and I got my husband or my wife this, and all they did was buy me this. If you are doing it for the wrong reasons, and you are wanting to be thoughtful and say, oh, I did this, and then expecting them to come back and they give you a gift card, and you're like, there was no thought put into this. They literally went the night before and got it. You got to get rid of that attitude. Like, seriously, some people are really good at thoughtful gifts and other people are just not. And that's just the way they are. And it's nothing to hold against them.
You know what? I'm sorry. But I don't think that people are not good at getting gifts. But I think 80% of the people that they just got a gift card for are those unappreciative little fuckers that expect certain things, that expect them to go that extra mile. And they're never satisfied with. I know a lot of people like that. Oh,
right.
Why would they buy me this? I don't even like this color. So I know people would just say, they'll either give them money in a card or a gift card to their favorite store. Let them buy their own damn gift. Because they just don't want to hear it, but they're giving, at least you're getting something. Be grateful if you're that person that's very high maintenance and bougie and thinks that you want this, or that nobody knows your style. Nobody wants to learn your style because you're probably changing it like the wind. I know people like that. So I think, yeah, absolutely. I think the bottom line with that is just learn how to be grateful. Incorporate some gratitude into your life for where you are at, the people you know and have traveled with, and who you're becoming. Be grateful for your now.
Giving so much easier.
So, I mean, everybody said, oh, 2020 is going to be my year. I'm going to do this, because I know I was one of them. But you know what? I am doing what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, like, got stumbled back. Like, what's that thing in the Western movies with, you see that bale of hay or
tumbleweed?
Yeah. and a lot of people were left doing that in the desert, just letting the wind flow them back and forth, because they lost their footing, because they're like this and what they wanted to do. But I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. Just be grateful. And you know what? That's like my favorite word since all this COVID stuff is gratitude and being grateful.
I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to shout out too. Good morning, Tiffany. Tiffany Bryan's on. And okay, so next one is quality time. Uninterrupted and focused conversations. One-on-one time is critical. Taking action, or actions to take. Create special moments together, take walks, and do small things with your significant other or family member or close friend, or, in my case, my kids too. Weekend getaways are huge. And then things to avoid: distractions when spending time together, long stints without one-on-one time. Quality time is necessary for everybody. And let's just put this across the board. This isn't just your significant other. You know, you want to spend quality time with those people that you love and care about the most, the family members that you love and care about the most, your children. You want quality time with your friends and your significant other, because just that alone is a gift. It tells the person, you know, I'm busy. They know you're busy, but, and it's not that you're like, I'm making the time for you. Don't say that. It's, you want to say, no, I want this time for you. Because I hear people say that to me all the time. I know you're busy, but you know, if you ever have time to, no, like, I'm going to do that. Oh, you sure it's okay? No, it is. I want to make that time for you. And it's so great. It's nice to connect. It's nice to have those moments, you know, when you think you're so busy and you say, somebody says, hey, do you have a few minutes? Can you do this with me? And like, especially with my kids. So quality time is a big one. And that was one that I fought a lot. Like, I always could put something in front of anything. I could always do it. And that's something that I've had to consciously make a change in my life in especially the last couple of years.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's quality time with someone. It's food for the soul. Even, you know, what I love when you're spending quality time with somebody, when you can go like 5 or 10 minutes with a silence. Because in that silence, then guess what? It's a comfortable silence, right? And then, you know, that's your person. That's your person. Quality time isn't about always yapping it away. It's about walking in silence, and both of you observing the beauty around you, and, you know, and sharing ideas and your dreams and how you're going to make them a reality. I think quality time just spans across everything. But I love that silence when you're just sitting there drinking coffee with someone and you're either looking out, you know, just looking out into the world. And the comfort level is like a warm blanket on you. Like, quality time is so much, and it's so inexpensive, yet it's priceless when you lose it, right?
That's good point. That's actually a really, really good point. Because we always say that, especially after somebody passes away or somebody gets really sick, and you know, they've been asking, hey, let's go skiing, let's go do this, let's go hiking, and then all of a sudden the person gets sick and they can't physically do it anymore. And then the quality time can change. You know, you can do different things, but when we lose them or when we don't see them anymore, absolutely. You know, and the distraction piece is a big piece, because we are easily distracted when it comes to our phones, anything, and we let anything distract us. So I'll give you an example of this with my kids. So my little one will ask me to do things with her, and she'll be like, Mommy, watch this thing with me, or Mommy, can you play with me outside? And I will, I'll do it, but I catch myself because I'll take my phone and I'll take the opportunity to like post something, you know, for the business, or check a text message. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not quality time with her. I'm not giving her that quality time if I'm allowing myself to be distracted. So I have to put the phone down and say, okay, I have to be full in. And she'll call me out on that sometimes. Mommy, get off your phone, Mommy, you know. And, you know, she's not wrong to do it, because it's true. We could sit there and say, oh, I'm spending quality time with my family or my friends, but you're sitting there and most of the time you're on your phone, or you're taking phone calls. That's not quality time. And
No.
you see that. The people that you're with see that.
You got to dedicate that time. And, you know, on my YouTube channel, Moments con Margarita, I speak a lot about own your now and live in your moment. Like, be present in your moment. And if you're owning your now, then guess what? You are present in your now. So there's no distraction other than who's in front of you. And I think we need to practice that, because we are letting, you know, what did I learn out of my dad and Eric dying so suddenly? Because they both just, even though it was still waking up and they're dead, so it was sudden. I don't care how, you can't prepare for that. And what I learned from them is we don't have time to waste time. So the phone can wait, you know, that post can wait. But it's what's right in front of you. And I think we all need to be reminded of that. So thank you, Lori, because we all need to be reminded of that. You know, like when I sit with Mom and like yesterday we were watching a movie and we're cracking up, and my phone I left it on the back porch. And it was fun. And after, when I went to look, I was like, oh shit, I didn't even have my phone this whole time. And I didn't miss it because I'm watching her laugh at this movie, and she was laughing at the right moments. So yes, you know, we don't have time to waste time. You know, and Buddha says the biggest mistake we humans have is we think we have time.
Yes.
You only
Right.
have the moment you're living in. So you need to own your now and be grateful in it and spend it with those people and give them your quality. So what are you worth? Because that's what you're going to give. So you give them your quality
Nice.
moments of you.
That's nice. All right, last, because we're almost out of time. Is the train like going to stop in front of your house because it's so loud? It sounds like it's going to stop so you can get on.
It's actually 2 blocks up.
Never
Parallel.
heard it that loud though. Usually it's never that loud, but it was so funny. It literally sounded like it was getting louder. I'm going, is it pulling up? Like, are you going somewhere? Okay. Last one, acts of service. So how to communicate. Use action phrases like I'll help. They want to know you're with them, partnered with them. Actions to take. Do chores together or make them breakfast in bed. Go out of your way to help alleviate their daily workload. We were talking about this yesterday. Things to avoid: making the requests of others a higher priority, lacking follow through on tasks big and small. Yeah, you know, it can't, I mean, you can't always do it 100% of the time. There's going to be times I have to say that you will have to jump in and do things for other people. When it says making requests of others a higher priority, sometimes it has to be that way, but what they're saying, I guess they mean on a regular basis. So simple little things, like when you said you put the note in Eric's lunch, I mean, the fact that, like, did you make his lunch? Did you put his lunch together for him?
Yeah, I used to make his lunch.
That's nice. Get a cup of coffee for your significant other or friend, you know, like you're going up and say, hey, you know, like if you're at a party, hey, you want something from the dessert tray? I'm going up. Do you want something? I'm going up to get myself some more food. Do you want me to bring you something back? You know, like I saw this a lot with married couples, you know, when we would get together with the kids and stuff like that. And the parent, like, one of my friends went and she got her husband, she got herself a drink and then she brought it over and gave him one. And one of the other wives made a comment and said, oh my God, you're servicing him, you know, you're giving him. And she's like, well, I was going up anyway. Why not? Like, I mean, it's just a nice gesture.
It's your husband.
Right. Well, and it goes both ways. You know, it's, I could see if it was one-sided all the time, that would be different. You know, like if you are the individual who is always doing these little things and pushing and like, then it's different. But acts of service, you know, both sides, you know, both people have to do something, and you do the thing that's the strongest for you. So if you are the cook or the person, and then you do that piece, but if the other one is the cleaner or this, and hey, let me get that for you. Don't worry about doing that. I got this. That's the beauty of it, I think.
It is. Let me tell you a funny story before we leave about acts of service. You said about coffee, bringing you coffee. 20 years, no, 19 years that my son's father and I have been separated. Well, his sister was in the hospital, and I love his family. I was visiting. So I was about to leave when he walks in with his brother, and the sister wanted coffee, so they left. So I'm talking, I said, well, let me get out of here so that your brothers can enjoy you when they come up, right? Because, you know, it wasn't civil. We don't speak like that. He's the love of my life, but we don't speak like that. Isn't that funny? But
yeah,
it's fact. So I'm leaving, and they're coming off the elevator, and my brother-in-law has all these coffees. So he's like, wait, we got you a coffee. And I said, oh, you got me a coffee? I said, Richard, I'm real particular with my coffee. He's like, this is it. And I said, oh my God, how'd you get it perfect? He said, I didn't, Rob did. 19 years separated, he still remembered how I liked my coffee. That spoke volumes to me. It didn't give me mixed messages, you know, because it just let me know that, you know what, he knew me. And he remembered how, because I'm real particular how I take my coffee. My coffee has to be dark and bitter, but it has to have a hint of milk and it has to have a pinch of sugar. And it was perfect. And to me, that to me said I was valued.
Oh.
And I was loved enough that he never forgot how I liked my coffee.
You got me teary-eyed.
Because how so little, like people just like, oh, I don't know how she takes her coffee. But to me, that spoke so much volumes about him. And it made me, appreciate him more than I did for, because he was the love of my life. So anyway, acts of service goes a long way.
Thank you for that little
and
in there this morning.
It goes a long way, mi gente. And for those that are still on, let me tell you, you know what? It doesn't rob you of any moment, of any amount of money. It doesn't rob you of your dignity or your integrity to be nice to someone.
Yes.
You know what? Even if someone was mean to you, but you know what? You don't feel any animosity towards them and they need something, or you see them sad. Mateo walked in yesterday. He pulled one of those flower weeds out my front yard, and he walks in holding it. He's like, for you? And I said, oh, my God, this is for me. He's like, yeah, I pulled it for you. Come on. He's 3 years old, but he brought me a little flower with all the dirt hanging off of it and stuff like that. It does not put a damper on your integrity, on, what your boundaries are. Just an act of kindness. Is that where we're at? An act of service should never rob you of anything. Nothing. Money, time, dignity, nothing. If you see somebody that looks down, smile at them. That's all it is. If your lover, your husband, your significant other user going this way, do something that they would love and draw them back in, because we are individuals with our own set of minds, our own thought patterns. Even though we're together, we're still, like Khalil Gibran says, we're still the pillars of the church who stand together yet apart. So find each other.
This is about love, and this is also about you. First off, when you do these active services, don't do it with the expectation that you're doing this so that you make them feel like crap. Like, I'm going to do this for them, and then they're going to leave and they're going to know that I did this. You do this because of love. You do this because of compassion. And that means that you can even do this to people that you've fallen out of love with, that you don't like. If you are not with your significant other anymore, that doesn't mean you have to hate them. You could still do something nice for them. It always impresses me when you see like exes where
my story really affected you.
Oh yeah, I got a little weepy. Yeah. Well, I'm also I don't know, I've been weepy all week, so.
No, it affected me. I felt love. I felt appreciated, and I felt valued by that one gesture 19 years later.
And that's what I was just going to say. So like, even I love stories when you hear about exes helping their ex, like so-and-so broke down and I called my ex-husband and he came and he fixed my tire, or he made your coffee, like he's the one who put the coffee together. And you know what I'm saying? Like, those are beautiful things. And I love that you said, I didn't read into it. Like, I didn't make it more than it was. It just was what it was just an act of kindness. And I think that's beautiful. And I think if we all had that attitude of just doing it to be nice without expectation of getting something back, and not to make yourself feel better. Oh, I did that for that person, I need to feel better, but just because, like, just leave it at that. Just because.
That's it. That's what it is. It is a just because. It is, you know what? It's about self-love, self-trust, and then paying it forward.
Yes. And I want to say, Tiffany was talking about the quality time, and she says that kind of time creates wonderful memories. Yes, absolutely. Kids, especially when it comes to like kids and quality time, but I suppose even family members, or friends. Well, I guess everybody. People don't remember the tangible things. They remember what's that expression? I think it was it Maya Angelou that said it? They remember how you made them feel. And if during that quality time, the quality time was really great, they will remember that. If the quality time was really bad, and it angered them, they'll remember that too,
Of course.
you know?
Because it's a lesson, you know, either you love or you learn. That's all it is. There's no bad or I had a horrible situation, relationship. No, you find love or you learn a lesson. So let's just be open, because right now with how the world's going, you need to be open, and then you need to be very observant and analyze everything without judgment, because this is the new now.
Yes.
This is the new now. So you know what? Learn who you are and where your strength comes from. And if that strength is dwindling, you pull that bitch up like you would your big girl panties, and you set out and you be grateful for those around you, and you be grateful for those you are going to encounter, and then you keep it moving, because every person you meet, it's either going to add to your life or it's going to add to your knowledge.
Yes.
So accept them both.
All right. So thank you for indulging us today. I know we got started a few minutes late, but we did go over a little bit of our time. So thank you so much. Thursday's topic, we're going to continue with the love. So we're going to talk about love and romance. And we're going to see who out there is a big romance person and hopeless romantic, that kind of stuff. And we're going to talk about love. And our guest, did we
Yeah.
for our guest? She's going to do it? Okay. So
Yep.
Our guest?
It's Shelly from the Womb Sanctuary.
Okay, perfect. So Shelly will be our guest on Thursday. And we thank you so much for coming on today. And we thank you for indulging us for the extra time. And it's a beautiful topic. And we continue our love topic on Thursday, spreading love and joy this week to everyone, and hoping that you are receiving it and sending it out, also paying it forward. So any last thing you want to say before we do our closeout, my dear?
I would say that go on to Google and Google the 5 love languages, and it'll pop up the 5 love language quiz. Get to know which ones are yours and study the other ones and see, because your partner might be the same as yours. So that's where, you know, relationships go with no hiccup. You may be a little, because sometimes when you're too much, but just study it. And learn the person that you're with, because you love that person. So you want them to feel your spirit as much as you should feel them. Pour into them what you want poured into yours. How's that? So I leave you with that, because and then, you know, I think that's wonderful. And remember the affirmation, Lori, please repeat it, because I loved it.
Love is my birthright. I am a manifestation of this love. I am loving and loved by many.
Boom. And the mantra, I am thankful for all I have and all I will accomplish. So in the name of love, mi gente, we're signing off.
I want to say one thing, only because it's beautiful. First off, Michelle said, thank you so much. And Tiffany wrote, I learn a lesson each day. I watch both of you. Thank you for being you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. And thank you for coming on and being you. And with that, I am the Badass Buddha, and remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And I am the Gladiator Guru, and remember to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Hi, everybody. We'll see you Thursday.